But when you think about the way that children learn, it doesn't matter if they are a teenager or if they're younger. They all still need that whole child approach. And so even if you think about it, like God is triune and he made us to be triune as well. And so you have body, mind, and spirit. And a lot of times we talked about that in education, we only focus on the mind part. We forget the body part and we forget the spirit part. But the problem is that you're neglecting two vital parts of who we are. And so there are exercises that will help them within the course focus on different muscles that actually help in handwriting. And then we also have Bible woven in there. And then, of course, we have the handwriting, the academic part in there.
Great. So it sounds like this is a little bit different than most of the courses that I'm going to see on the market today that deal with handwriting. And can you maybe highlight a few of the things that make it stand out from the other stuff on the market?
Sure. One of the things that Masterbooks has done with this course is when we started talking about it, I'm a very visual person and a few of my children are also very visual. So I wanted to make sure that we had a visual cue to be able to help them to know where does the letter go on the lines. So we have visual cues for that. It is a Masterbooks exclusive hand-drawn artwork by Angela Odell's daughter, Katie. And she has done a phenomenal job. She's doing a lot more of the artwork in the course, and I'm very excited about that. And so I'm glad that that's exclusive to Masterbooks, because we could have went and borrowed something else that someone else did, but I didn't want to borrow someone else's work. I wanted to say, okay, what works for us? What would work to help these children to visually, give them a cue as to where things need to go and how the strokes need to go. And we also really focus on the way to make the letters, like the strokes and the formation. The reason that is because even like Charlotte Mason, when she would teach handwriting, she actually would teach just like if she was doing a manuscript A. So she would just teach a slanted line. And after her students had mastered that slanted line, then she would take them in and start teaching them the letter A. And so she would teach the strokes before she ever taught the actual letter. So we've kind of blended that thinking in with this, and we're teaching the strokes. And so they don't start out like just copying. At first, when we were kind of coming together on this, there were some questions of, well, they're not making enough words, or, well, they're not doing this. And I actually took a step back and said, well, actually, by the first 9 weeks, they're making some nonsense words. But I personally have used other handwriting courses. And as my oldest son even recently said, well, none of them work. And the reason I feel like a lot of them haven't worked for us is because they're only focusing on one aspect, or they only want you to just copy something. And the problem is that copy work is good if you know how to make the letter. If we don't know how to make the letter, then it's no different than me doing artwork and drawing something that I'm just copying. And so that's why this approach is definitely different.